The three events we observed have different objectives. The atmosphere changes, and the audience's expectations do too. However, there is a common denominator. We are breaking the ice. We are greeting and opening an event where people have come to observe something, to accompany someone, to learn, or to have fun. Thank you. And we'll see you in the next class. Welcome to this class. The audience should feel welcome. Kindness is a key point within a ceremony. If the organizers haven't indicated it for X, Y, or Z reasons, it's ethical to keep in mind that we are part of an organizing team. And when we have the floor, common sense tells us that as hosts, it's our responsibility to make the audience feel comfortable all the time. When the events from the text are too rigid, you need to look at the audience, smile. Tone should be warm and welcoming. You need to convince them that you truly appreciate their presence there. To do this, speak from the heart. And as part of welcoming the audience, you can mention people or groups. For example, a big hug to everyone who has traveled from Barcelona to be here. We send you a warm welcome. Oh, for example, it's really nice to see George and Karina here. Your son must be very proud to have mom and dad at this ceremony. On the other hand, make sure if there are any VIPs or diplomats in your audience. You need to welcome them in the best way you can. Read the titles of each guest with good intonation, as they were the movie star of the night. Your job, as masters or mistresses of ceremonies, is to quickly build and maintain a positive relationship with the audience. To keep that relationship alive with the guests, with the audience, you can also mention the needs of the guests, showing that we know what they are expecting at this time. This can be done in many ways. For example, mentioning the audience's needs or showing that we know what they expect. For example, if you are the master of ceremonies at a lunch, you could say, I know some of you have come from a long journey and didn't manage to have breakfast. I've been told that in 10 minutes we can all go enjoy a delicious lunch. Speak personally with your audience, avoiding the use of the third person to refer to the public. Like the people, or those members of the group. Many delegates this afternoon, in your place, use you, or some of you. Now, for example, if you were the master of ceremonies at a road safety convention, I would consider that rather than saying at night on the roads, many people die every day from fatigue while driving. That's a valid point. However, I could relate it this way. Many of you will have driven here today. Have you noticed that it depends on how you drive and how you conduct yourself? Others could also die. And not because you made a mistake, but because the person in the car next to you was tired and fell asleep. Thank you for watching this video. We'll meet in the next class. Welcome to this video. Next, we will talk about body and facial language. One of the most common questions from MCs is, what do we do with our hands? And in my opinion, just use them. Don't hide them. And how I use them? That's the other question. I can confidently say that hands are a fundamental tool. The life of an event presenter. Knowing how to move them elegantly, accompanying your words, allows for better communication with the audience. Open hands might indicate welcome. The closed hands falling down could express that this statement has no turning back and that according to the speaker, it is so. Forget about playing with your hands, as if you had invisible antibacterial soap, unless this gesture is well used. As a presenter of a comedy event, it should fit to what you're presenting. There are no rules in this world of presentation, especially now that everything is changing. But there are guidelines and boundaries between being formal and being friendly. Hands should move in sync with your speech, affirming and confirming what is being expressed. They should never be in your pockets at a formal event. This could be considered too casual or disrespectful. Hand movement and gesture accentuation set limits on speed. When we speak, this is why combining all these elements of communication improves verbal presentation in front of the public. If you're introducing an artist, your movements can be more expressive. Music stirs emotions. Artists and their talents move the audience. Therefore, during your presentations, you can jump, raise your voice, widen your eyes, move all around the stage, loosen up more, and support that magical moment for the fans. A fan will never forget that moment when a good host introduced them to their favorite artist. There should be a connection between the fan and the presenter, that it makes you feel a liking for that artist. If you're not a fan of Juanes or Shakira, just for that day, fall in love with them. Next up, the following video. Welcome. Next, we'll talk about how to manage time. With the permission of Rachel Green, a Master of Ceremonies trainer in Australia, I'd like to share 5 key points that every event presenter should keep in mind when asked to manage the timing of each presentation. These and many other recommendations can be found in Rachel's book, How to Become a Brilliant Master of Ceremonies. While each artist, each speaker knows the time they have for their presentation, it's worth reminding you, before and after one, be a strict guardian of the clock. 2. Keep a close eye on the time. 3. Let each speaker or artist know their exact time in front of the audience. 4. The MC's interventions should be brief. Sing, deliver what you promise. Thank you. See you in the next video. Welcome to this class on vocalization and volume. One of the problems I've identified in dozens of masters of ceremonies, not all of them, is vocalization. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. The more people we have as an audience, the more effort we need to put into speaking. And the text should be interpreted more slowly and with better vocalization. You might be wondering why? Easy, because if I'm talking to 2 people in a living room at a dinner, I can speak quickly, at my own pace, and the closeness allows for better understanding. When I have 50 people, I need to slow down my pace, because that person sitting at the back also needs to understand what I'm saying. And when I have 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000, or 10,000 people as an audience, even more so, I need to speak slowly, so that we have the best sound. Vocalization is also key. Never do this. Listen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this dinner organized by the Central Hospital of Bogota, where with your help, we will support children who are victims of firework burns. Thank you for accepting this invitation. How about we do it this way? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this dinner organized by the Central Hospital of Bogota, where with your help, we will support children who are victims of firework burns. Thank you for accepting this invitation. To improve vocalization, the best thing to do is to record your voice reading a full page of a book. Then, view it with the text in hand and listen carefully to the pronunciation of each word. Record again and keep correcting until you move on to a new page, until you improve the vocalization of the words. Thank you. See you in the next video. Welcome. Next, we will talk about the importance of a master of ceremonies. Let's not kid ourselves. At some point, or on several occasions, we have offered our service as event presenters. And in one of those talks, the organizer makes it clear that they don't need a presenter because someone inside the event will manage that role. And it gives us 1,000 reasons, most of them related to the cost of the service itself. Some clients don't see the need to make this expense, which, in my opinion, is a wrong decision. I'll tell you why. Just like the organizers hired the best theater, the best lighting technician, the best catering service, the best video service, the best sound, etc., a good master of ceremonies should be hired. Why? A master of ceremonies either builds or ruins an event. Every person who works for an event is a key piece in its development. No one does more or less than someone. However, I can certainly tell you that if something goes wrong or the service in general is not provided under the best conditions, a good master of ceremonies can alleviate those situations, creating a positive atmosphere that can overcome these unexpected hiccups that arise and that can only be achieved with an experienced presenter who has something called charisma, intelligence, and common sense, and agility in decision-making. Whether it's to give a welcome greeting to a speaker, to announce and liven up a wedding party, or to say that a car is parked incorrectly or has left its lights on. The person in charge of the microphone must do that job with a lot of enthusiasm and love for the craft. And only those of us with experience doing this can spend hours and hours being the voice of the organizers in front of an audience. Listen to this. The importance of hiring a master of ceremonies is closely related to maintaining the event's image. Bringing an experienced moderator to the stage, someone with knowledge in their head who can contribute to the script, is a winning move. One thing is to read a script, and another is to know the national and global landscape of what is being discussed, as well as having knowledge about the profile of the attendees. That said, thinking about a good master of ceremonies is thinking about the image of the event. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next class. Welcome! We have reached the chapter on how to introduce the speakers. One of the most significant moments of the event has arrived. And it's when we introduce either the artist, the politician, the academic, or the expert, whoever we need to present. There is no exact rule in the world of event hosting regarding the presentation of each of these points. There is also no equation that defines the decibel level for each presentation. What is clear is that the presenter must project a level of enthusiasm during any presentation. Without enthusiasm, the guest won't respond as they should. And if you present with enthusiasm and commitment, the audience will catch on and applaud like never before. Leave pauses in your speech. Planned pauses. Silences also speak. When sending off a guest and moving on to the next one, pause for 3 seconds, smile, and then proceed. Read the guest's background with strength and clear vocalization. Be very careful with words in other languages, which is why it's recommended to practice reading the script several times, as many times as necessary if the organization allows it. Adding comments that enhance the farewell or welcome of each speaker enriches the presentation. Invite the audience to listen to the next point. There are reasons to stay attentive, to stay focused on the next number. Vary the way you introduce each speaker. If we introduce them the same way, we would fall into monotony. You can use opening phrases like, "Ladies and gentlemen, next up." Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce. At this time of the afternoon, we have arrived at. It's time to listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to introduce a topic that is of utmost importance in our lives is coming up. And The Economist presents it. Introduce men and women equally, with the same smile, with the same enthusiasm. Is key. It's necessary to summarize the speaker's profile. Why do they sometimes hand out a whole page? No one would pay attention to such a long profile. Everything can be summarized in 6 lines or less. Thank each speaker. It's a formal way of saying that we feel very good about your contribution to the event, for your attendance. If there's a possibility, and it's not always the case, it's very nice to go beyond just saying thank you. Briefly explain how your way of thinking will change with this presentation. Say something more than just, "What a wonderful speech." Say something more than this. Keep a slight smile when introducing and bidding farewell to the speakers. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next class. Welcome to this class. Here we will focus on what a master of ceremonies should do hours and days before the event. Let's say you're already hired for the presentation. You already have the script and the schedule for that day or those days in your hands. You already know what type of audience will be present, their ages and their background. Based on this, not having enough information to know each of the speakers, start doing your own research. It's not the most advisable thing, but it will benefit both the event and performance as an MC. Next, in the place of your choice, read the script out loud until you can do it with fluency and ease. There's something I usually do days before the event, and that is to visit the place where I'll be giving the presentation. This gives me peace of mind. Getting familiar with the environment and being able to talk to the person in charge of sound, lights, and logistics in general calms my nerves. You might say nerves? Yes, of course. The day I don't feel nervous, it's better to leave this job. The nerves tell me that I want to impress that day, that I want to do things well. They also question me about how I can do it better than the last times. Nerves, after all, are a strategic ally when facing an audience. The night before the event is key to checking the clothes I'll be wearing the next day. If there's an outdoor stage and it's the middle of winter, it's worth bringing a coat that matches your outfit. The day before, it's not very advisable to stay up late or engage in activities that physically exhaust you, as a night's rest will never be enough to perform as an MC. I say this because to face an audience during a long day and leave a good impression, you need to be physically and emotionally at peace and calm. You need to be alert for last-minute calls requesting changes to the script, be clear on the instructions, and immediately adjust the text. Hours before, it's your duty as an MC to estimate what the traffic will be like 2 or 3 hours before the event starts. Ask yourself, is it better to go by subway, by car, or by bus? If you live in another city, it's advisable to arrive the day before. And if you live 3 or 4 hours away by land from the event location, and you need to be there by 7 in the morning to start at 8, as is often the case, in Colombia, I recommend staying close to the event venue. Rush hour can be brutal, and I've seen many masters of ceremonies arrive late because they didn't calculate the time well. You can expect anything from long journeys. When you're ready to start, identify. Coordinate with the person who will be making decisions. Remember, it's always better to communicate with just one person. This way, you avoid having 10 people from the organization giving orders, sometimes without any basis. Generally speaking, prepare yourself in every possible way to do your job well. And also get ready to face unexpected situations. Because when these unexpected situations catch you off guard, you'll need to act in real time and without the opportunity to ask for a pause. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next class.